everybody. Welcome to a flow that creates inner strength and stability, or in other words, we're moving with our core. So welcome everybody to the practice. If you would like to have anything at all, it might be a block. If you don't have a block, you could use your couch, piece of furniture. Try not to lean against the cat or the dog or whoever is practicing with you. The pleasures of practicing at home, we've got everything close by, and if you've got a blanket or something for relaxation, please feel free to grab that as well. So I will ask you to begin the practice just simply lying down on your backs. So as you make your way here, you might step the feet onto the ground or extend your legs out. In a moment I will ask you to step the feet back down, but for now release your arms out and just simply take a deep full breath in. Try and pause the breath for a moment and then have a long, slow breath out. If it works for you, you can exhale through the mouth or through the nose. We'll do that once again as we breathe in and then containing the breath for a moment within your body and then exhaling the breath again. So we're creating a bit of softness and inner awareness to begin with. If you would like to keep the practice active in the beginning, please commence now with full yogic breathing as you breathe into the belly, the ribs, and up to your collarbones. And you breathe out from belly to ribs to collarbones. I like to think in the core practice that it could be nice to, on each exhalation only, activate your lower belly and draw that gently down in the direction of your tailbone. You would release that again on the inhalation. So the breath flows belly, ribs to collarbones, and you might choose to activate the lower belly as you imagine you can draw that to your tailbone on each out breath, consciously relaxing that on the inhale. While you proceed with that, I will share a short poem from Rumi with you that might infuse your day or even your practice. I took that from a Rumi oracle deck, and it's about the Al-Usa, star of Venus. Well, when we think about that, we might be drawn towards the feminine, but this is actually a good balance between masculine and feminine, and a guide for us to look a little bit deeper and seek further spirituality. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. We will begin our movements from here and might return to this poem at the end of the practice. So I would ask you to step your feet down onto the mat like so. While I will only be moving one arm, I invite you to move both arms, and if that's possible, lifting both arms over the head onto the ground, while you are choosing to bring the thumb of each hand into the palm and wrap the other fingers around. So we're making a fist in which the thumb is included. If it's available to you, please keep both arms extended over the head and a kind of a hold onto the thumb of the hand. We will then begin to bring our knees into the chest And from there, extending both legs up to the ceiling. You could allow a slight dorsiflexion as you pull the toes gently down towards your body. And then the activation of the lower belly will come in handy as you breathe out to lower one leg down. And you're breathing in to lift it back up. And then we're changing sides, exhaling, lower the leg, inhaling and lift it. So we're keeping that nice and slow. As mentioned, lower belly supporting, helping us to keep the lower back safe. And as we lower, we're starting to strengthen. You can choose not to go quite that far if your lower back is irritated at the moment. Let's go for a few more steps. On the out breath, lower. On the in breath, lift. Exhale and inhale. One more step on each side before we might make a change. I will ask you from here either to continue or to let go of the arms above the head, maybe hugging the right knee in as the left leg lowers now. As you breathe in, lifting both. On the exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze and lower. So we're getting a little bit stronger here if that works for you. Otherwise, there's always the option of stepping back to a previous variation or even taking a pause if you choose to. Now, next option here would be also to lift your nose up towards the knees. So on the inhale, we're lifting up. On the exhale, lower. Breath in and out. We'll allow one more on each side. And then we will pause. We will release our fingertips to rest behind the head, behind the neck as a support. Stepping both feet down onto the ground and allowing the knees to roll out to the side so the soles of the feet can touch. This could be called a squid, and some of you might be aware of this movement. It stems from Supta Baddha Konasana, the reclined bound angle pose, and brings strength for the core but also warmth for the kidneys. So let's lift our head and shoulders up and keep the gaze towards the ceiling. When you're next exhaling, squeezing one elbow down to the same side knee. Keep your gaze up, upper body unchanged. Inhale, center. And then the other elbow towards the same side knee. And breath in to center. And exhaling as you're squeezing down. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze into the side of the waist. If you can't hold the upper body anymore, you feel free to still move and slide the body along the floor, so you're still getting the benefits for the kidneys. Just another one to each side as we breathe out to squeeze into the side. On the inhale to center and then squeezing again to the side. Breathe in. Breathe out to release. Let your arms drop down by the sides. Let the knees really fall out for a moment. Take a deep breath. Have a sigh out. Then bring your knees back up and step your feet down onto the ground for now. Two options for the following movement, as it is a fair bit stronger than just moving one leg. We'll move both legs now. There is the stronger variation, both arms again over the head, thump into the palm, fingers wrapped around. Or if you need a little bit of support, which I will be demonstrating this way, sliding your hands just under the lower part of the buttocks to support our lower back. We will bring the knees over the chest and then extending both legs. And again, a dorsiflexion might be useful. Please try and remember lower belly on as we're breathing out to lower the legs. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Keep going, breathe in, lift the legs up, exhale and lower. If you're still with me, keep going. 3, 2, 1, and bonus. Just to release the legs entirely. If your arms are over the head, bring them down by the sides or release the hands from underneath. I recommend to keep the dorsiflexion in the ankles and have the arms by the sides now. As we breathe out of the mouth, you can choose to just try and lift the legs and the upper body and then recline again. Too strong, you might just lift the upper body here before you release again. 2 variations, or as we breathe out, sit it up into a boat, and when you're breathing in, lie back down. Now breath out can be from the mouth, and then lying back down. Last one. If you're not sitting yet, find your way to sit in whatever shape or form is right for you. Now, as we come to sit on our mat, I will ask you to place your fingertips down behind you, to find the space to sit in that lies between the sit bones, and to cross the ankles, one over the other, maybe lifting the feet if that's yours, and then tilt the knees to one side, keep one pointing up, and squeeze them in. On the inhale, center it, on the exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open knees and squeeze them in towards your body. You can take this quite fast. We'll just go one more to each side, and then we'll change the cross of the ankles. We might even start again on that side and keep squeezing. Now, if this is not quite strong enough, try and lift the hands off the floor. Still keep moving side to side and squeezing your knees up. We'll go one more to each side. Then release it. Let the legs come out long. Maybe a bend in your knees. Straighten up your back and just allow the body to fold forward for a moment. Start to create a bit of space behind your legs and let your breath relax. Deeper inhalation then, longer exhalation. Just one more breath like that. And we will move from the forward fold into mountain pose as we begin to stand, maybe at the front end of our mat. So I'm asking you to take a breath in, lifting both arms up and potentially finding Charlie's Angels over your head, index fingers pointing upwards. On the out breath now, bend it over to your right. On the inhale, come to center. On the exhale, bend it to your left. And then keep moving just a little bit further from side to side as you breathe out. To the right as you inhale to center and exhale again. Let us bend again towards the right hand side and hold here. Lifting your opposite toe off the floor. If you can, hold both arms, hands interlaced together as you're tilting this one now into a warrior 3. Hands can be in front of the chest instead if you prefer. Then bend into your standing leg, Land the foot to the ground, lifting both arms again into a high lunge. And then tilt it again forward. Lift back up for your warrior 3. Reach back into standing. And breathe out and bend to your left. Holding here as you are extending now the right big toe outwards. We will tilt this into a warrior 3. Arms can stay extended or hands can rest in front of the chest. Then bring a bend into the standing leg. Land the toes down, bend the back knee, reach both arms up again, your high lunge. And then lean it forward, returning again to a warrior 3. Stepping the feet parallel, take a breath in, reach the arms up. And we'll exhale again, leaning towards the right. Lifting again the left big toe off the floor, so the same here. And we'll start to tilt to a warrior 3. Same options, arms can stay extended or hands to the heart. And we will step the foot back by bending the standing leg. Soften, reach both arms up, high lunge. And now as we're breathing out, we will bring the hands down onto the mat. Stepping this foot back into downward dog. If you experience down dogs to be too strong today, don't worry, you can always practice from all fours. I will ask you now to just drop your right knee down towards the floor. While we're lifting the left leg off the ground, bring a flexion into the foot. And then you take a breath in and lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Just a little reminder that I modify for myself. If you need modifications, please have those. If it's possible now, extending your left arm over the head. So we're reaching forward, and you might then point your toes as you're reaching backwards. With the next exhale, then draw your elbow and knee together over your body. Take an inhale, extend arm over head out towards the leg. And exhale, squeeze back in. Only one more here. Inhale, extending. Exhale and squeeze in. While you are extending again, bring your hand down onto the mat. Then bring the knee back down onto the floor as well. Lean the body weight forward. Let's stay in a kneeling plank unless you insist to lift the knees off the floor. Draw your tailbone in the direction of your heels. And when you're breathing out, keep your elbows low and close by the sides as we lower down onto the front of our body. Let your arms extend alongside the body. And while you're taking a breath in, lift the upper body, lift your arms, maybe lift your legs off the ground. Inhale, exhale, release. Let's keep that flowing. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, release. 3, 2, 1. And relax that onto the mat. Bring your hands down by the sides of your body. Engage again, lower abdomen. Push into your arms, kneeling plank. Tuck your toes, roll your spine up, downward dog. As you might set yourself up in this down dog, let's inhale to lift the right leg. As we're breathing out, bring the knee to the chest, tuck the nose towards the knee, and then land your foot forward between your hands. Maybe the arms are reaching again towards the front as you find Charlie's Angels Mudra again, or you have them at your heart. As we bring the weight forward, Finding again the warrior three. And then stepping the foot to the ground, arms lifting up, deep in breath. As you're breathing out, bending again to your left. Extending the right foot away as we balance. And then swirl it around. As you come forward into your warrior three, arm positioning is up to you. Then bring a bend into the standing leg. As you land the foot back, bend the knee, reach both arms up, high lunge. On the exhale, placing the hands down onto the mat. Step your foot back as you find a downward facing dog. On the inhale now, let your left knee land onto the mat. Extending out into the right leg. Start with the flexion of the foot. And we will then take a breath in and lift the right arm as well. From here, take that arm over the head. And only 3 rounds as we breathe out, pulling elbow, knee together. On the inhale, extend your body, point out through your toes. On the exhale, squeeze in. On the inhale, extend it. And exhale, squeeze it back in. Now while you extend your leg out, the hand lands onto the ground, the knee comes onto the mat, and I will give you an extension this time. You can lean forward into your kneeling plank, or you could now practice from a full plank. On the out breath, keep your elbows by your sides and slowly lower down onto the mat. Resting the forehead down while you extend your arms along the side of your body. Palms now touching the floor. If you practiced like this in the first round, turn the palms up towards the ceiling. While you inhale, lift your head, chest, arms, maybe your legs. Breathe out to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 3, 2, 1, and release. Landing the hands back by our sides. Come up onto all fours, either stretch back to puppy or roll through your spine for a downward facing dog. Next, inhale, lifting the left leg. On the out breath, bring your knee to your chest and tuck your nose towards the knee. Then land the foot forward between your hands. The hands then either come into Anjali Mudra in front of the chest, or you can extend your arms out long. We're shifting the weight forward, coming back into our warrior three. Then step the foot down, reach the arms up. And now as you're breathing out, bring the palms to touch. Open your sit bones as you sit into chair pose. Breathe in, push into the floor, reach both arms up again. Exhaling, chair pose. Push into the feet, inhale, reaching up. Exhaling back to chair. Only one more, take a breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, landing into your chair. Now hold your chair pose. I've placed a block in front of me just in case I would love to use it. As we fly our arms out towards the sides. So bring the arms out either side to shoulder height. Then lift your left knee up into the chest. And while you're flying this back into your warrior three, flex out through the back foot. And then start to turn your body. And you might reach with your right hand down towards the ground while your left shoulder rolls back and maybe your left arm is extending. If you feel confident here, you could start to lift the fingertips off your support. Let us point out through the fingers. Bend into the standing leg as we're landing down. Take the front arm. Exalt your warrior as you take your breath in. Stay here while you're breathing out. As we bend our back knee, roll the arm in. We will come back towards the floor as we bring our hands down onto the mat, lifting the back heel. Now please take the right knee and tuck it back into the chest. Extending your leg underneath and across. If you like, you can rest the outer edge of the foot down and maybe roll to the inner edge of the other foot. Feel welcome to stay anywhere here. And as you breathe in, lifting your left arm towards the ceiling. A fallen triangle. Foot could come off the ground if you want a little bit more. Then bring your hand back down, tuck your knee into the chest. Extend the leg up and back for a three-legged dog. Either bring the foot down or flow from here. As you inhale, come forward. On the exhale, lower down onto the mat. I will ask you from here to simply extend your arms towards the front of the room. And please, or the front of the mat, please do both arms and not just one if you can. We will continue with lifting and lowering. And you might bring your legs and your arms a little bit further apart so you're looking like a star on the ground. While you're inhaling now, lift your right arm, your left leg, head and chest. And breathe out to lower. And then do the same with the left arm, right leg, inhale. Exhale, lower, and we'll keep that flowing. Breathe in and out. Going for 3 more, but on each side. 2. 1. As you release, bring your legs a little bit closer. Take your hands down by your sides. If you would like to go really strongly out, tuck your toes under. Extend actively out through the heels so the knees are coming off the ground. We will all engage our lower tummy, drawing that downwards towards the tailbone. And whether you lift up into a full plank or a kneeling plank, and then returning your body in the spinal roll to a downward facing dog. Let's take 1 deep breath in and let the breath escape your mouth slowly. There's an option here for you now to jump if you would like to, but you could also walk if you want to jump. Squeeze the knees open. Take a hop to the front of the mat. Find a half lift here on the in-breath and folding back down on your out-breath. We'll reach the arms up into standing pose. And on the out-breath, bring the hands back down to your chest chair pose. Push into the feet. Inhale, extend. Exhale, chair pose. Wide open sit bones, strong core. Inhale, extend it. Exhale, come back to the chair. 1 more round. Breathe in. Breathe out, holding your chair. As we hold the chair, the lower abdomen remains active. Bulks is open. We will, with the next in-breath, extend both arms out to shoulder height like an aeroplane. If you would like to have a block in front of you, you could use that for the half moon. We will lift our left foot off the ground. The knee comes up and we're extending out through the heels slowly as we find an aeroplane pose or variation of the warrior three. Then we begin to tilt that. As we open this out for a half moon. Now mine's already floating. If you want to take your hand off the support, creating more challenge for your balance with that more inner strength work. Now point this out through the toes as you bend the standing leg, land, and reach your front arm up towards the ceiling as you find your exalted warrior shape. If you do tilt the head back, have the subtle chin tuck to keep your neck muscles engaged. To release it, bend in the back knee, roll upper arm, shoulder in, swirl that around, bring your hands down towards the mat, and let us sweep this leg up into the air. We'll bring that in and extend it under and across. You can leave this leg floating here or rest to the outer edge of the foot. You're welcome to stay anywhere again or roll the inner edge of the foot down and take a breath to lift through the right arm. Again, there's that option of lifting the foot up as we play around with our fallen star or triangle. Bringing the hand back down, squeeze the knee to the chest and then extend the leg up and back. And as you take a breath in, roll the spine forward, find your plank or kneeling plank, and then lower back down onto the mat. Extending the arms forward once more. If that worked for you, take the arms out wide, widen the legs. And either repeat lifting the opposite sides up with your head and chest, as we did in the last round, or we'll go for 5 rounds of lifting and flying like Superman or Superwoman as we breathe in, lifting both arms, both legs, head and chest. Breathe out to lower. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, lower. 3, 2, 1, and release. Sliding the legs back in, hands again by the sides of the rib cage. Your choice. If you want a full plank, tuck toes under, lift knees active in the legs. Otherwise, knees can be down. We all draw the lower belly in towards the tailbone as we push ourselves up, kneeling or full plank, and then returning into downward facing dog. Breathe in fully through your nose. Let the breath escape from the mouth as you relax not just the breath, but your face, your jaw. And then you can choose to either walk a step or jump the feet forward, crossing the ankles and coming down to sit. Let your legs come out long in front. Maybe another flexion here of the feet. And I suggest to make our way somehow back down towards the ground. We'll do so with a rolling plow. Now I will demonstrate the various variations. As you breathe in, reach forward. When we're breathing out, you might just roll onto your back, lift your feet, or even push the hips up, and then lift back up, tap your toes. For those of you wanting to go further without the wall behind you, you might reach forward to your toes, roll back all the way to the plow, and then sit back up again. So finding your variation, and we will go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release just onto your back, leaving your feet in the air but lowering them gently towards the buttocks. Let your hands again come behind the head. Maybe it's just the fingertips touching there. You can open the elbows out wide. We go into a little swing as we bring the knees over and over with a little tuck towards the shoulder. With that, we're also rolling a little bit over the pelvis. Squeeze, 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 and one more. Tuck it up. Find your center. Let your knees come over your hips, lifting the feet. Again, a dorsiflexion for the ankle joint so we can see our toes. Full back release. We started with the upper. Keep the knees touching as you again take the knees from one side to the other. They do not have to touch the floor in this variation. More important to keep your knees together and the knees in about 90-degree angle. One more to each side for the mid-back. Then center again. Drop your feet to the ground, but keep your knees actively squeezing together as we rock them again from side to side. Hands might not have changed. Keep the knees together and just roll over the edge of the foot. And then we will find our center here again. Let the arms release for a moment. Step your feet a little bit further apart and closer towards your buttocks. So we have enough energy to manage the day. I suggest we're finishing with a back bend. So to do so, we will tilt our pelvis on an inhale, then squeeze the buttocks as we're breathing out, pushing the hips up for a bridge. As we're holding our bridge, imagine you can draw your tailbone up towards the backs of the knees, expanding more through the front of the thighs, maybe the hip flexors. And then on an out breath, we will roll down vertebra at a time. Now we keep that moving for a few rounds. On the inhale, tilt, squeeze, and lift. On the exhale, roll back down. Tilt, squeeze, and lift on the inhale. On the exhale, rolling that back down. Do so for another round, just lifting yourself up and then releasing back down. I suggest to complete our practice, bring the knees up and squeeze them up towards the shoulders. A happy baby pose, as you could have your hands behind your thighs while you're bringing your ankles up to stack over the knees, and again that dorsiflexion in the feet. Or if that's in reach, take your hands from the inside of your knees towards the outside edges of the feet. And for a moment, just use the weight of your arms to draw your knees in the direction of the floor. If you feel the stillness here is serving you well, you might stay. Or you could roll over and almost drop down onto the knee before you lift back up, and do the same on the other side. So if you do choose to drop down towards the knee, it might be a little bit stronger, not so much relaxing. So make your choices or practice both. If you're still rolling, complete, come into balance, left and right. Then bring your feet together, gently releasing the feet down. And I do recommend that you cushion yourself up, or at least keep yourself warm if you want your jump on or a blanket. Maybe cushioning under head or knees. And relax the body back down. While you are getting comfortable now in Shavasana or resting pose, find the support that you require in this moment to hold you. Let the arms maybe gently fall away from the body. If you can't close your eyes right now, please steady your gaze. Maybe experiencing an overall sense of warmth within, potentially highlighted by strength around your core. Allowing yourself to feel empowered, yet restful. You can, of course, choose to just stay here, finding ease in observation of breath. I will repeat Rumi's poem again. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing, to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness pure and divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. You might allow your awareness to rise from that sense of inner strength and power to the heart center. And allow from a restful position now to expand. Expand the breath, move your body. If you prefer to keep resting, please do so. If you would like to complete the practice with me, you might roll to your side or master that bit of inner strength to sit up over the front of the body. Where we touch our hands together in front of the heart, allowing us a subtle bow of the head towards our own heart center and down towards our inner strength. Staying connected to that more heightened awareness that might have come from this practice. Extend to each other. Namaste.